I want to share with you some lessons that I learned from a very popular book written a number of years ago by somebody named Robert Fulghum. The title of the book was Everything There Is to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. It is a book, of course, that reminds him of his days in kindergarten, but there were certain rules that he followed in kindergarten that he thinks are very important for everyone for the rest of your lives. He started out by saying he learned sharing, that you have to share the toys with other little children. I think that is a very important lesson in life, to share what you have with others. We have to think, for the religious person, everything comes from God, so he should certainly share. But I think social responsibility also comes into play. If you have to share. Well, that is done through taxes, but it's also done through contributions that you make. When you see somebody has a problem and you can help him, why not? Share what you have and you will see that you really have more. I have never met anybody who by giving to others became poorer. Not at all. Even though you would think that after all, money, if you share your money with somebody else, you'll have less. I've never found that. And I've been a rabbi for a number of years, and I never found that. To the contrary, the people that gave eventually had more. Maybe it was an incentive to make more. Also, he learned in kindergarten to play fair with other children. Because if you don't play fair, the others won't play fair with you either. I think it's very important in life. I think that in the long run, people recognize those that have a word, that tell you they'll do something and they do it. I had a son who was involved in the textile industry, where in Latin America, many a time people tell you, mañana, not today, it'll happen later on. But he said, everybody in the business knew those that were honest and those that were not. You can, with words, maybe hide many things, but in the long run, people realize if you play fair or you don't play fair. Another thing he learned in kindergarten was to resolve conflicts without fighting, without violence. And I think it's very important in life too. Everybody has his own opinion. I look out for my interest, you look out for your interest. And many a time there's a collision between these two. They're in opposite fields, in opposite camps. But you shouldn't use violence. You should use persuasion. You should use arguments. If you use violence, the other one will use violence too. And violence leads to violence, and then there's no end, there's no escape to all that violence. He learned in kindergarten that if he makes a mistake, he has to correct it. And I think in life, who doesn't make mistakes? However, the intelligent people know how to correct their mistakes. That is, they recognize they made a mistake. And that is very difficult, for a person to acknowledge that he made a mistake. It isn't that simple. In kindergarten, he learned that before you cross a street, you have to hold hands. When you go someplace, you have to hold hands with your other child, the one that is next to you. This way, the counselor can always know how many people, how many children there are, if anybody did get lost. Well, in life, you have to learn to hold hands. You think that you're self-sufficient, but you're really not. We need each other. So learn to hold hands, to give the warmth that you have, share it with somebody else also. Finally, he says that kindergarten also taught him that not everything is work. There is play, there is dancing. Some of us are workaholics. We live our lives in work all the time, and we think that the more we have, the better it is. But it actually is not so. The more we become, the better we are, not the more that we have. And don't spend your entire life just working. Learn how to smile. Learn how to converse with other people. Learn how to dance. Learn how to sing. Learn how to play a musical instrument. Keep your mind off in from the same thing, from doing the routine things every day, and let it be a little wider. Enjoy life. Look at nature. Smell a flower. Look at the river. Look at the ocean if you can. Look at the many things we have in this world that are really for free, for everybody. You don't have to be rich for those things. So you have to work, no question about it. Work is very important. The Bible says that you have to work 6 days and you rest on the seventh day. But learn how to play also. I think that is very important. So I will tell you, learn how to share, learn how to be fair, learn how to resolve conflicts by talking, not with violence, learn to admit your mistakes and correct them, and also learn that life has greater meaning, not only work. Work is very important, but there are other things that are very important as well. Your family, your mind. I am sure that you follow these things, you'll be very happy with yourself.